tutorial. Today we're going to cover spline lines, revolves, extruded cuts, shells, surface offsets, surface thickens, circular patterns, and sweeps. It's quite a bit, but it should be fun. It should lead to a pretty nice parametric ornament that we can all make. So let's get started. First things first, let's turn on our origin. This is going to be the X, Y, and Z, so Z is this green guy. And what we're going to use first is going to be this create sketch tool. It's going to ask us which plane we want, and so it'll highlight whichever plane depending on which one we select. Now I'm going to just pick one where I can draw from a side view, and I'm going to make an axis. So if I hover over the datum point right here, the 0, 0, and I go up alongside the green, and I type in 50 because that's what we told you want this ornament to be about the size of, and I click OK, you're almost on your way. So spline lines are going to be the next thing. And I'm going to make kind of a butterfly wing shape because it's going to be really useful when I make a revolve. When you're making a revolve and any object where you're using splines, just remember you can click this little green check mark that's going to give you this profile. And you know that it's a profile because it's in blue. That just means that it knows where its endpoints are. And we click Finish Sketch. What a revolve is like half of a shape going around its center point. So when I click Revolve, or I hover over it, it kind of shows me this, and I instantly know, okay, what I'm really looking for. Now, this is the profile in blue, and the axis is going to be this piece right here, and it's going to revolve that, and it's, pretty exciting. It made a new body. You want to make sure that's selected, and you want to click OK. Now, it's going to maybe leave this little artifact right here just to tell you, hey, I'm here, and you might want to click your sketches. Remember, these little arrows will be the drop downs. And now you can see that sketch on there. And what's really cool is that you can update this in live time. So if you want to get a different shape, you totally can. Just remember, it's much easier to update a lot if you have more points. I'm keeping this pretty simple just for the sake of this tutorial, but you can get as much as you want into it. So I have my shape, and we're almost on our way. The next thing we're going to do is shell. So shell is when you take an object and you tell it, like I'm going to tell it right now, I want 3 millimeters of a wall thickness. And what the shell command does is it really just determines what that is. And again, if you hover over it, it's kind of telling you here. But if you want to verify this, you can click Inspect and go to Section Analysis. Now, a section analysis works really well by selecting a cut plane and showing you the interior of your design. And you can click OK because you might want to have that. And it also pulls up a new window right up here for you. And that is your section view. So let's get rid of that because we don't need to stare at it. And let's go back into here. So we have one body right now. And what we want to do is we want to use this shelled body to create another sketch and cut it out because we want a pretty interesting shape here. And again, it's sort of asking, where do you want to draw? And I want to draw on the same plane I made that original sketch on, just for the sake of keeping things easy. I'm going to make another spline line profile. And I'm doing it kind of freehand because I don't have anything other than I want a piece of this kind of shape in mind. And then I'm going to make a big rectangle box. And this gives me a stamp. So it shows me that I have an interior inside of here and an exterior outside here. And I click Finish Sketch. Now, if you remember or recall, when we use the extrude tool, it can work in two different ways, or actually many, many, many different ways. But in this case, we're using it in two different ways. So we have the extrude tool for new body or for cut, and in this case I actually want to cut with this tool, so it's like my cookie cutter, right? So I can cut in that direction, but I can also select for it to go in two directions, and I can go in here and make it cut out the rest, and you'll see a little preview of it, which is great. And you click OK, and you get this kind of like really awesome shape that would be pretty hard to sculpt on your own out of clay or something, but pretty simple in Fusion. And off the bat I find this surface to be pretty awesome right here, this one. And it breaks this into different surfaces, but they're all continuous, so I'm going to use this. And this is our first foray into the surface design suite, so this is surface right here, and I implore you to go through all of these and see what they do, but for right now, let's do a surface offset. So the surface offset I'm going to make is actually a 0 degree thickness. That just means it's going to ride this surface and not change at all. So the reason I do that is because as we will learn, if you get further away from it, it's going to change that shape drastically, and closer, same thing. So it will start to fill things in when it doesn't understand what it is you're doing. So I'm just going to type 0, and I'll click OK. Now I have my surface, and you'll see here it updated that. So I'll hide my body so it doesn't get confusing. So that's pretty cool. I have this nice fun thing to work with. And I'm going to thicken this. That's our next command. So thicken is going to be right here. And it tells you again what it does, but it's going to add some wall thickness or general thickness to our part. And I'm going to say it's 3 millimeters here just to keep things easy. And we'll click OK. It's going to make a new body. And that's great. So now I have my first object. I'm going to go back into the solid commands just for now. And I'm going to make a sketch. The sketch I want to make is actually on this bottom plane. And this is the first time that we're making an axis that isn't just a straight line. We're going to make a circle as an axis. And I'll make this 50, but it can really be any size that you want it to be because it will follow this path more or less, and you'll see how. And you can change that, again, if you don't define it fully. So we can say, hey, I'll move this over and it'll change with us. So we'll say finish sketch, and now we're going to go into the patterns. And we're going to make a circular pattern. That's right here. Again, I implore you to read these little text boxes. They are very, very useful. The next thing we want to do is make sure we have body selected. We want to select the object, which is this one, which is our surface thicken right here. And we want to select the axes. And the axes we want to select is a circle. And now if you look at this window, which I'll drag over to here so you can see what's happening here. Let's get a nice view on that. Something like that so we can see the updates. We can add this and it will show us in live time what it's doing. So I'm going to put in 10 and click OK. And off the bat I end up with a pretty cool shape, something I like. And if I want to make edits to it, what's really nice is because we're not using a whole bunch of stuff, we can actually edit in live time. Now if I go too far out, the shell command is going to throw up some errors and say, hey, what are you doing? But again, you can just fix that and it'll update because it's really just confused. So you just help it out and it will help you. Okay, so we have our general shape, and just to be clear, you can move this as you wish. So I can move it further out, get some pretty interesting stuff, move it further out, get some other interesting stuff. And I implore you to kind of play around with the shape, play around with the thicken, the sketches, like whatever you want to, because you're going to get some really, really cool stuff happening. For now, I'll leave this here, and let's make a sweep. So for the sake of keeping things easy, let's select a plane here. If any of this gets in your way, just remember you can click bodies to go away just to keep things simple. But I'm going to leave it up just so you can see what happens. So I want to make a sketch. And again, if you select the plane first, it'll just jump to that plane because it knows what you're doing. And I'm going to make a big circle. So the big circle I'm going to make is just enough to go through this object. I click finish sketch. Again, you can move this as you want because we haven't fully defined it. So this is going to be my path. Think of this as the rail track. And now we need a railroad. Or, sorry, we need a train. So I've put this here, and I need to draw something that's going to intersect on that. So what I might want to do, and in this case I will hide the body so I can see a little better, is I might want to make an object like here. Just something that I can make, align with that. And I'm going to make a circle off to the side, and I'll make this thing 5 millimeters. And I'll just put it there. And if you remember from before, we had constraints, and they were very, very influential on what it was that we could do. And you can go through all of them, but for right now, we're going to use coincident. And I want to grab the center of this circle and this line. And did you notice it turned a different color? And the reason why is because coincident is awesome, but coincident means it's kind of relative to this thing. It's not really sure what it's supposed to do. And remember, you can click escape, and you can now move it around. So if I want to make this thing coincident to this object, I need to make sure that it's touching that circle somewhere. So I need to make sure that this thing is coincident, or at least close enough to this in order to work. And we'll finish the sketch here. So I have this path and I have this object. Now I'll turn on the body because we are going to need to see what's going on here. And I'm going to go into the sweep command. This is the sweep command. It kind of shows you what it's going to do, like create a tube from a profile and a path. So we need two things. We need a path and a profile. So I'm going to select the path first because that's pretty simple. It's right there. For the profile, this thing seems to have a line running in between, so it's a little confused. So let's just click this. And we'll click both sides so we get the full circle. If you want, you could get a half circle or whatever, but we're going to make sure we're not cutting. We're going to come out here, make sure that we're joining this. And what'll be really cool is it'll join these objects and you'll be able to see them. And there are different options up here that you could play around with, but in general, I want you to see this thing's here, and it's going to be like the ring that we hang our ornament from, and we just click OK. And off the bat, it looks pretty cool. Like, we can change it as we want to. We can make this smaller, we can make it larger. I can update this in live time, so if I just want this to be a little bigger, I can. You get the idea. So, you know, if I change this, no matter what, these will be joined, it will work. And I can go in and change any of these parts using these sketches. We've kind of built ourselves an object. And then the only other thing you have to do, because I am in an untitled here, is you have to save. Please, please, please save. And we're going to save this to demo project. We're going to name it ornament 2. Just in case I have another one, and we'll click save. And that's going to save it to the cloud, which means it's backed up, and yep, we get the check mark. The only other thing I need you to do, because you will be hopefully 3D printing something like this or anything, is that we want to export, and it's going to give us that export because I've already pre-saved it, but in case you were wondering, you do want the STL file right here. STL files are really great for 3D printing, and we're going to save that to the desktop and export that so that we have that file backed up. And it'll give you this window. Just remember, you can always close this. And again, you can make updates like as fast as you want. And you can save the file in there. And it'll just keep working for you. So I hope this was helpful. Please save your file. We're going to get ready to 3D print your Secret Santa gifts. And I look forward to seeing what you make.